folks miss when they get in an adrenalized state and it's a dynamic environment. And don't let there be any doubt in your mind. A gunfight is a dynamic environment, and you will have adrenaline in your system. So this is 3x3x3 drill. Okay, 3 rounds, high center chest, 3 yards, and the time standard is 3 seconds. I'm not even going to pull out the timer because I know everyone's going to make the 3 seconds. But just like I always say,
ignore me.
No, you're good. I said, don't sacrifice marksmanship or speed. Situation drives the speed that's necessary that we need at the time. Okay, our sights in an acceptable target area drive when we make the gun go bang. If your sights aren't in an acceptable target area, front sight or red dot, in that acceptable target area being high center chest, don't make the gun go bang. A peripheral hit or a miss doesn't do us any good, no matter how fast and how cool you look during it. Only good high center chests work. If you look back historically at some of these old gunfighters like Wyatt Earp and the gentlemen that are back there, and you read some of their accounts, speed comes with efficiency. Okay, sights being an acceptable target area allow this to do it quicker. Okay, but all of them say bring the gun parallel to the ground up into eye level, take your time, find your sights, and smoothly press the trigger to the rear. Way much more important, that might not really make sense, but it did in my head, than getting it out there fast and just making a lot of noise. 3 rounds, 3 yards, 3 seconds from the draw. And threat. Stay stationary, we're not at that point yet. All right, let's go up and down the line here. Look good, look good, look good. Nice. Relax that thumb. We do miss at this range. When adrenaline and stuff gets into our system and we're trying to solve problems and we're getting overloaded with information, it happens all the time. So, and we know that this is, so when we look at statistical data, the range that you guys just shot, that's where the majority of gunfights happen for armed citizens and for law enforcement, which is similar to the armed citizen. Because they want to get close to you, they want something, they want to be able to put hands on you and do stuff. So statistically speaking, anywhere from 3 to 7 yards of car length is where almost all the gunfights happen, and the majority of them within that distance happen up closer, that 3 yards. There's a percentage that happen even closer than that, and that's why we're going to start going a little bit closer here. So we're going to start talking about this close proximity shooting. Everything that I get out of this comes from Craig Douglas and the guys at Shipworks, because I think they've really cornered the market in that, and they put the work in and they test it with live resisting opponents in force on force. If you go to their classes, they're awesome classes, but they are not fun while you are doing them, because it doesn't matter how good a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, ninja, Kung Fu expert you are, everybody gets their hind end whooped in them. But that's okay, that's the point of it. So before we get into shooting the high pectoral index number 2 position, we're going to go into shooting out to extension and then back into compression, because a lot of people don't practice that range when we start to create space. So when we get in close proximity, whether we create space with combatives, a combination of combatives and preemptive striking, and because we create the opportunity then to go to our gun, and then we shoot and have to create space. People don't practice that up real close. They don't practice this in between from here to about here, where we get outside of their arm's length. They're either doing something that's extremely up close, or they start about right here. Okay, and they forget about this little area that's right here, and it's critical. It's super important, because if we don't practice that, guess what happens when we encroach on the target for whatever reason, and we're always used to shooting at extension.
Give my gun.
Yep, the gun stays at extension, and we go walking up to them, and it turns into a fight for the gun. Okay, and I've seen it time and again with companies that are out there in different training facilities that are trying to get in this concealed carry close proximity niche, and normally they tie it into something like CQB, and they come around a corner as an armed solo operator, singleton operator, and they're shooting and it's looking great, they're moving, and they come walking right up to the target because there is no consequences on a paper target. Okay, you do that out on the street, guess what happens? Yep, it turns into a fight for the gun, no matter how many times you shot them, because pistols are poor fight stoppers. If we got to shoot them once, we probably have to shoot them multiple times. Okay, so this isn't necessarily point shooting because we still have a visual reference of the gun once my hands come together, if I have the ability to get both hands together, because I can see the gun in my periphery. I want to have it parallel to the ground, muzzle oriented to where I want the bullets to go, and they don't have to be perfect. We might walk them up, but the thing that I want is I want them to be relatively center line, because we might have a good enough penetration where we hit that spine, and that could be a debilitating shot for them. So anywhere in the process, if they drop and they don't become a threat anymore, we got to stop what we're doing. Okay? So, like I said, we're going to draw the guns out. We're going to come to that 3 position if you're into the numbers with the draw stroke with our hands together, muzzle oriented to it, and we're going to shoot. And I'm not going to do this by the numbers like I normally do, because everybody here has done a significant amount of training, okay, whether it's with us or somebody else. So we'll be able to back up. And this is one of the times where I'm an advocate where you can back up. Now we can do it straight back. We can do it at an angle. It really doesn't matter. The situation and the topography is going to dictate which way we go. Obviously an angle is a little bit better, but when we're backing up, it's always in a controlled manner.
You know, there's stuff that gets you to this point. We're just taking a step out of it for right now. We're going to add that in a second. So, like I said, if you need to come up to see, don't worry, I will not shoot you. Okay. But the gun's out, it's parallel to the ground. I got a good two-handed grip because I can articulate my shoulders. If we got to break that grip a little bit because of bad shoulders and we can't bring our elbows in, that's fine. Okay, but notice where it's oriented. Okay, and this is a super short dude. It's like I got John out here for a target. Okay,
The bad guy.
but look at where my muzzle's oriented.
I'm a short guy.
It's oriented right to the chest. Okay, so when I get to this point as I'm shooting, I'm just going to continue to go to extension as I back up, getting to full extension when I'm outside his arm's reach. So I'm here, boom, 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 boom. See, I'm at extension, I'm outside of his arm's reach. If I was coming in to say, like tomorrow when we do arm singleton movement in a structure, okay, and I'm gonna compress around a corner or wall or something like that, or I'm in a hallway and I'm coming in close, boom, 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 boom. And eventually we'll end up, if I have to, I'll be nice and close in that high pectoral retention position, pectoral index retention position. Okay, so we have to be able to go to extension and compression as we either create space or we get closer to that threat, so it doesn't become a fight over the gun. All right, does that answer your question so far?
Yep.
Joe? Okay, so it's going to look like live, and I'm going to do it at the speed I want you guys to do it. Okay, because people when we get doing this tend to really want to go fast because this is an uncomfortable area for people, especially when we're shooting, even though it's just targets. And so they try and speed up. And we don't want anybody going hind end over tea kettle and end up on their back. We'll get to that in a little bit. All right, everybody got eyes and ears on, covered up. Okay, so we're here. I do got a loaded gun, right? Yeah, okay.
So I'm here.
Okay, assess and scan. And if I needed to, I can take cover, top off, etc. And now going back into compression. So I'm at extension, everything is good. Okay, I could step back, assess and scan, so on and so forth. Now, on that whole series, does anybody think I have my sights? Nope, not till I got all the way out to extension. And then I picked them up just briefly. But the gun was parallel to the ground. I had it peripherally in my line of vision. Okay, so I had a reference of where it's at, and look at where all the shots went. So I had what I needed to have the gun in an acceptable target area to get the hits I need to potentially stop a fight. However many rounds it takes to get to extension, and here we go. Threat. Threat. Good. You guys can assess and scan, top off if you so desire. And then once everybody's got them in a condition you're happy with, we'll get you back out to extension.
Dang, Joe. Yeah. Put some hate into that, dude.
That's when violence.
There you go, Joe. I like it.
Yeah, boy.
Right. Wonder Twin Powers activate. All right, y'all, go back out to extension. Now we're going to do it to compression. And threat. And threat. Good. Conduct your scans. If you want to take a step back to create a little space, but conduct your threat scans, top your guns off, and then go ahead and when everything's right in your world, look them into the holster. Clearing the cover garment with your sport hand, ensuring you have a clear pathway and your finger is in register. Hey, you guys did yesterday, we did all the preamble that leads up to either less than lethal, you know, preemptive striking and all that, and then we started doing lethal. But let's think about the realm we're in and how these things work. Everybody, several people said they were surprised at how quickly the gap got closed while we were doing the managing unknown contacts, right? There are a couple people that said that, where we were doing verbal recordings and stuff and people were still encroaching in. So it's very conceivable, especially if we're trying to process this information and we get taken a little bit by surprise, that bad person can end up right here and we've got to use some of those skills, right? Okay, so this retention shooting position, and a lot of people, they just teach it with no context, all right? Going to the gun when we are in close proximity is almost all the time not the right answer. Just because we got it doesn't make it the right answer, because the bad folks don't want to be shot, stabbed, or whatever else, so we have to create an opportunity to go for the gun, okay? That's way outside the scope of this class, okay? We're just kind of giving you the basics on it, and then you can continue to build on it. And like I said, I understand this realm, but it is not my specialty. So I am humble enough to be able to say, like, if working in this extreme close quarters and understanding what you need to do to create the opportunity to earn your draw stroke is locally here, you could go, and I haven't trained with them, but I do know them. Z Durham does a close proximity class, which I'm sure is good because I know the people that he trains with and that. So that's somebody locally. You've heard me mention Craig Douglas and the ShivWorks guys. So Craig, Paul Sharp, Larry Lindeman, Chris Fry, and Cecil Birch. All fall within that ShivWorks consortium that do this, and they're the guys that really got this going and have an understanding of it. So if this is an area that you want to get better at, I encourage people to go there. So this high pectoral index shooting to 2 I get from Craig Douglas, and I called him up when I wanted to start teaching this and asked him permission, and I told him I would give him the credit like I do everybody else, because I think it's extremely important. So just know that there's even more that goes into this as far as, you know, getting to the point of shooting the retention, okay, or shooting the 2 as they like to call it a lot of times, okay, that we just don't have time even in a 3-day class to get into, okay, and a lot of you have heard me talk about this at length. So if everybody kind of comes over this way, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. This is not a position of advantage for me. Not when it comes time to go for the gun or, you know, a sap or even a knife. Okay, knife's a little bit different how we've got it configured and carried. This here is a lot better position for me. If there's still a threat, this would be an appropriate time for me to go to the gun. Okay, and like gradually, and obviously I'm gonna be doing some other things.
I did have to do lines training at one point.
You did. I've got the book for lines training now. This is a position that's advantageous to me, that if there's still a threat, okay, going for a weapon, having a weapon in their hand, turning, that I can articulate, that I can draw the gun out in this retention position I'm going to show you, and put effective rounds on target while I create space and get out to extension. Okay, so this is when we're truly shooting. we would actually be here, or we might be here. Sometimes we're here, but like I said, almost all the time, it's extremely difficult if we do get the shot. We might only get one shot if we get the gun out, because then they figure out what's going on. And most likely we're never going to get the gun out, okay? So I just wanted to kind of emphasize that with everybody, because we're shooting flat one-dimensional targets facing them. We're just using these as a prop to be able to practice the high pectoral index retention shooting position, okay? Nothing live here. But I get to that point of opportunity where I can get my gun, okay? I have to clear the cover garment with one hand, because my other hand most likely is doing something, controlling the head, controlling the arm, tied up in a shirt, whatever the case may be, okay? So I'm here, okay? Gun comes out and comes up nice and high. When I said I'm nice and close, okay? Notice I got this thumb flag on my pectoral muscle. What this does is this creates space for the slide to reciprocate back and forth, and it doesn't need much room. What a lot of people will do is they pull it into them and then it gets caught in their clothing, or it bounces off, you know, their chest or something. So having that thumb flagged is extremely important. Notice the angle. So I'm articulating my elbow and my shoulder more, and it's a downward angle. Now this target is set lower, but if this was somebody standing in front of me, where are these rounds going? Probably in the pelvis, right? That's okay. That's okay, because I'm getting their attention so I can create space and get out to extension like we just practiced, okay? People will try and get high center chest hits on this particular technique, and watch what happens to the gun. Now it's up nice and tight to my body, but if I level it off, it goes out, and now I'm giving them the gun, especially if they're fighting to turn around, okay? Or I happen to get it out while I'm facing them, or just off to the side a little bit. I don't want that, because I don't want to fight over the gun, because it causes malfunctions and all kinds of problems. If I'm here and he goes to grab the gun, because I have a proprioceptive index, okay, skin-to-skin contact, I can step and look where my muzzle still is and get outside of the reach. And I can control it because I know where it's at. That's why some of the other retention techniques are don't provide this opportunity, because if I jam this into my ribs, I don't really have an understanding, because this has no feeling of where my muzzle is in relation, number one, to my body and to where my bullets are going. Here I do, because I can feel my thumb, I can feel it, and I have a good idea where that muzzle is as I move around, okay? So I get a couple rounds off here, get their attention, and then what do? What you guys just did. I step back, hands come together, I'm shooting all the way out to extension, and I'm never giving them the gun. It's never turning into a fight for it. You know, if you're actually tussling with somebody, this hand's probably going to be controlling them. We want to keep it high, though. Another reason why muzzle's averted down into the pelvis, because if you shoot yourself in a gunfight, it still counts. And we'll probably find out about it, and then it'll make fun of you after we make sure you're okay. All right, so I'm just going to pin mine to my chest here. All right, and as we go, we'll take you through. We'll come to that high pectoral index, we'll check you, okay? Then we'll say threat, 2 to 3 rounds. And then I went all the way out to extension, okay? So notice, nice control, they don't have to be perfect, okay? And then I just walked them up the spine till I was at extension, and now we assess our work through our sights. I can do my scans, okay? And I can top off or do whatever I need to do, move to a piece of cover, call 911, etc., etc. That way you can step back if they go to grab it, and when you step, now we can control it. We can move the muzzle over so it's still oriented there, but you're not shooting yourself. All right, 3 rounds, threat. Good, step back and recover, and then back in the holster, okay? Bring that other hand either up to our chest or something, okay? Now, see how we're giving him the gun? Yep. Yep, it hurts. Even us with good shoulders, it hurts, but now I have control of it. And if I step back and he goes to grab it, I have that index there that I can move the muzzle around, not shoot myself, but also have it oriented in a protective posture, okay? All right, 2 to 3 rounds, and threat. Okay, step back and recover, bring that hand underneath, and then clear your cover garment back into the holster. All right, go ahead and step up, Mike. Tuck it in. Okay, good, draw to position 2. you're going to feel bind in your shoulders and that, but that's okay. That's natural. So now if they go to grab it, you can step back with that foot and see how you still have an idea where your muzzle is and you're not shooting you. And that gives you enough for that slide to reciprocate. 2 to 3 shots and then step back or recover back in the holster and threat. Good. Hand underneath. Excellent. Clear that cover garment. Look it back into the holster. Good job. Oh, let me come on this side here. Flag that thumb. That's what gives you the space for that slide to reciprocate, and you're going to feel a little bit of strain there. So we want to be up nice and tight. And then if they go to grab it, you can step back, and this gives you, you know where the muzzle is, so it keeps it off of you, but it also keeps it oriented at them because you got skin-to-skin contact. Okay? 2 to 3 rounds, and step back, recover, and back into the holster, and threat. Good. Excellent. Clear cover garment, look back into the holster.
All right, reholster for me.
John and I are going to run up and down the line just really quick to make sure everybody is clear and got that good position on there. Then on the threat command, 2 to 3 shots into the pelvis, and then out to extension, however many rounds that takes. Once you get out to outside of their reach and you get to extension, okay, and you've assessed your work through your sights, you've got a visualization of dynamic effect, or yeah, whatever. You guys know what I mean. It's early in the morning.
Desired effect.
You
Desired
see the
effect,
sights on the bad guy.
That's it, yeah. Like I said, it's not natural for people to talk for, especially when it's going to be 3 days straight. But then do your 360, 180, 360 scans, top off and all that, and then back into the holster. All right, everybody looks good. Shooting out to extension, 2 to 3 rounds, and then out to extension. Nice and slow and controlled. Threat. Good. Scan your world. Good job, Joe. Top it off. Do a proactive reload if you feel it is necessary. I would highly suggest it, even if you got a high capacity magazine. And when you're doing this dry, don't try and go fast with this. Work through it slow, because remember, it's going to be in a dynamic environment. People are going to be there trying to tussle around with you. So bring it in, tap, and then I can go out to that extension. But nobody did anything unsafe. Just a good learning point there, especially if you're practicing on your own. Okay. Anybody got any questions or concerns on that? Okay. Next close proximity, or last close proximity drill that we're going to do is the Taylor Speed Rock, and a bunch of you have done it before. Okay. There's a variety of different ways to shoot from retention. Okay. A lot of them, in my opinion, are extremely antiquated, but they're still taught out there, like drawing out and getting your forearm or elbow over the holster, because all I'm doing is giving them the gun. But there's rationale and reasons why they do it, but most people can't articulate to you why they're doing it, or why it's bad. Okay, rolling it on your ribs and that. One of them that I think is viable, but it has to definitely be put into context, and that's why we're saving it towards the end, and I'll explain why I switched up when we do it now, is the Taylor Speed Rock. Chuck Taylor is the guy that people associate with it. Chuck's Vietnam vet, has his own shooting school. He's still around, he's still teaching, although he's in his mid to late 70s, kind of like Clint Smith. But he's the one that his name is associated with it, but the actual Speed Rock comes from about 1942, and a guy named from Fairburn and Sykes, and then Rex Applegate. And we've got historical documents and pictures of them actually doing it. But the problem is most people don't understand the context of it and the way that it should be taught. Reed Hendricks up at Valor Ridge, I think, put it into a really good context, and I'm going to add to that because I think there's even more to it. So the Taylor Speed Rock, and I'm not going to draw out my gun from the holster since I'm facing everybody, would be as I'm close, okay, I clear my cover garment, and as soon as the gun comes out of the holster, I roll it and bury the magazine into my abdomen or into my side. So as the muzzle clears the holster, I'm already oriented towards the threat. Now, granted, the gun is out there where they can grab it. Okay, I also can lock my knee and turn my hips in, and that's going to orient the muzzle more towards center line and center of the body, or a little bit upper. Okay, that's where most people stop with this. Okay, the way that I incorporate this, and like I said, I got it from Reed, and I think it is a viable technique. Watching different force on force videos, is if I'm backed up to something and I cannot create space, and I can't get to my 2 right away from drawing out because it's going to cause a problem, and I need to get shots off and I'm using it to create space. So maybe I'm backed up over the hood of a car, okay? Or maybe I'm backed up, you know, in like one of those walkways that has a metal railing, and I'm backed up. I want to get shots off fast, but the gun has to come through here anyway, okay? So that is an opportunity for me to draw out, roll the gun, and start shooting in close proximity. And John, if you'll come here, please. When somebody is on me, and again, I have to create that opportunity, clear the limbs or whatever I need to do, or maybe I'm fighting them up here and they come up top where I can come out and grab that pistol, thank you. And then my goal is to create space by shooting the gun. Okay, is everybody tracking with me so far?
Yeah.
So I get to hear bam, 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 as they start going, oh crap, and I get a little bit of breathing room and I can slam that arm forward. Where do I want to get to? Nope, I want to get to that number 2 retention.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because I can't go back and create space, but this is a position of strength because now I got a good base. This is a position of off balance. I'm trying to get to a little bit of position of strength, good position of strength, and now as I'm shooting, I can create space and go out at an angle, because we're going back here on these, but you can go at a 45, you can go at whatever angle depending on what the environment is around you and where you can get that space. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yep.
Okay, so I've changed it up from the last time a little bit because I think it rolls all this close proximity work together a little bit better and puts it in a little bit more realistic context. So I'm here, I'm gonna do it nice and slow the first time. I'm gonna clear that cover garment, I'm gonna pull out, roll, and there, see where the muzzle's oriented, see how my leg's locked in. Okay, I would be actually lean back if this was for real, but for here I want you guys to have a good base, good shots, and then now I've blown them off to create some space where I can come to here. Okay, and then depending on the environment is gonna dictate which way I go when it comes time to create that space and maybe get to extension. Okay, everybody tracking along so far?
Downrange, downrange, downrange.
Downrange.
Did you see where those went?
Yeah, I was watching the whole time.
Okay, let's move the camera.
Let's move the camera, Abner.
Good shooting, Tex.
Thank you. All right, guys, so again, I'm gonna bring that and lock it into my collar a little bit more at regular speed. So I'm gonna clear that cover garment. And then I'm gonna create that space. Notice I came to the 2, but it was fast because now as it is dictated to me how much space I have, that's gonna either, I'm gonna continue to shoot here or I'm going to start to go out to extension. It's just really situation is going to dictate what I actually do. All right, nice and slow, Taylor speed rock, 2 to 3 rounds, threat. Good, step back, recover. You can scan and all that if you so desire, and then back into the holster. Threat. Threat. Good. And then step back and recover. You got your scans and back into the holster. Our best efforts, and then how it can go from either a less than lethal, combatives or OC or something like that, to lethal real quick, and what we have to do to be able to fight our way out of it. I want to create that space. You know, we have that inbred, you know, need to get away from that threat, and backing up, no matter how fast I am, when I back up, as Sean comes running at me like you just did, you don't have to do it again.
Yeah.
And I start backing up, I can't outrun him. And what happens then, because we're not used to going backwards, and when we're out in the world, we've got debris, curbs, my own feet,
and we could get, you know, tripped up and end up on our backside. Okay, that's a really bad place to be. Now, can it happen? Absolutely. Do we want to try and mitigate the circumstances for getting me on my back? Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, like I said, I'm not a proponent of backing up for the most part. If we are creating space going back, we want to try and at least angle off, or in those certain circumstances, like you guys just saw with the close proximity shooting, where we have to. We don't have a choice. We have to back up, whether it's straight back or whether we angle off at a 45 or off laterally, because that's what I have to do because they're on top of me. Okay? And we do that in a very controlled manner. There's a couple other instances, like if I have a piece of cover that's within about a good step back that I can get something between me and them, that would be an instance where I'd go back. One of the other ones is, and I've found this now throughout the years, is if I've engaged somebody and they go down, because we know that pistols are bad fight stoppers, and even if they do end up expiring because of the circumstances, first of all, that's not my reason for it. I'm shooting to stop a threat, okay, but that can be an end result. It's still going to probably take a little bit of time, especially with a pistol. So I might want to back up, create distance, and get something in between me and them, say a car, if that's available to me, or a wall or that, so I got a piece of cover, but I want to keep my eyes on them, because maybe they don't have that particular weapon, you know, gun or knife or whatever, they've thrown it away. I don't know if they've got something else, so I don't want to turn my back in order to walk forward like the bipedal human being that God created me to be. Okay, I might want to keep my eyes on them and in a very controlled manner back up, seeing that in my periphery while I'm maybe giving verbal commands or something like that. So those would be some instances where I would back up. Otherwise, if I want to go back that way or over that way, I'm going to keep them in my peripheral vision, but I'm going to turn my hips in the direction of travel and motivate like I normally would. Okay? But tying this into this close proximity and then moving it out, there is a likely chance that if we're in close confines and we start to create space, we can tumble and end up on our hind end. Okay, so like I said, very bad place to be, especially if we have multiple threats that are out there that are trying to play soccer kick or football with their head, kicking them through the field goal posts. So what do we do when we end up on the ground? Okay, because I want to get back to my feet, and we have to think about this in context. Now there's some certain things we have to do while we're out here on the range for safety, because I don't want y'all to shoot a toe off and leave it out here on the battlefield. Pelvis for everything until you get to standing, and then you can shoot high center chest. Okay, we're going to shoot 3 rounds, boom, boom, boom. Okay, if I'm strong side, okay, what we need to do on this is roll to the opposite side to create space so I can get that gun. Gun comes out, roll it back over. Okay, so I'm here. Now there's a couple different ways that I can get up. If we got enough core strength and mobility, I could just sit up, okay? But again, you got to remember this in context. It's a dynamic environment, and there's probably people around fighting, so what I prefer to do is, with my support hand, is get a base and push myself up. Everybody's familiar with one-handed shooting, okay? So we can get a couple rounds there if I still need to shoot somebody off, or I can get a two-handed grip, that's fine. Okay. Then I'm going to go to a kneeling position. So we've gone from supine to seated. Now we're going to go to kneeling. Again, if you can do it, you have flexibility and mobility, you can tuck a leg and roll up. But again, I like to have that base there, because if I get crashed into, I want to try and minimize me ending up on my back again. Okay, so I'm going to create that base, roll forward. I can shoot one hand, I can shoot two hands, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I'm going to stand up. Again, most of us can probably, when we get to this position, stand up, but I can use that support hand also, coming underneath the gun, put it on my knee, give myself a boost up, and then once I get to here, boom, 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 assess and scan out. Draw stroke is still the same, boom, boom, boom. Okay, when I go to get up, it's kind of like, for those of you that do jiu-jitsu, it's a technical get up, but a little bit different. Okay, so I want to be muzzle or trigger finger, or I'm going to post this leg. Okay, for me, because I'm right-handed, my right leg, so I got a base, my support hand's going to come here, and I'm going to push myself up and kick my leg back till I end up on the knee. Okay, like I said, a little bit different than a technical get up on a jiu-jitsu.
I'm not a super jiu-jitsu guy, but that's what it is. Okay, normally they would be here. Okay, but I want that good base because if they crash into me, I've got a point of contact here, possibly even my hand. So again, to mitigate me ending up on my back, because you know, in a gunfight, that's a bad place to be. I don't want to go back there. If I need to shoot, I can do that again. But notice my muzzle was oriented the whole time as I did that get up to this point. And then again, I can use this, stand up, and come to here. All right, guys, very slow. This is dry. This is dry, nice and slow. Whichever of the two techniques you want to try, go ahead and begin. Work your way to your feet. There you go. Good job, Joe. It's whichever one you want to do, Ken.
I didn't know where it goes.
Yeah, just don't make it go back. All right, guys, go ahead and begin. Draw out. This is dry again. This is dry. Make your way to your feet. Good job, Ken.
I'll make sure to put a gold star by my name.
3 shots at each position in the pelvis until you get to standing. Then you can transition to the high center chest. Nice and slow. Don't worry about the speed component yet. Be muzzle aware, trigger finger aware, and threat.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they're going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, so Joe was asking here, does low light affect this stuff, especially the close proximity shooting, when maybe we not have a visual reference or peripheral visual reference of our gun? That's the whole point of that two position with that flag thumb and that proprioceptive index, because if I have a good grip on it and now I have skin to skin contact, I know where my muzzle is in relation to myself, whether I can see it or not. When we end up on the ground, okay, now we're getting out to extension. It's a matter of finding our sights or dot, okay, and picking an appropriate spot to shoot. We're shooting in the pelvis here because of safety, so we keep them in the backstop. Out in the world, know that number one, we're going to shoot whatever's presented to us, but number two, we ended up on the ground for a reason. If Joe's laying on his back and I'm the aggressor, he ended up there for a reason. I'm probably over top of him. Okay, so just like we did standing up with the high pectoral index retention, okay, that comes into play there. It doesn't matter whether I'm standing up or if I'm on the ground. If I'm over the top of Joe, I still have a good proprioceptive index here, or what I could do is I can shift it to my center chest. Now I'm center lined, and if Joe is over top of me, I can shoot. Now some people will say, hey, I'm gonna stop the slide. You know how much the slide actually reciprocates on your guns? Yeah, that much. If I've got my thumb flagged here, do I have that much space? I absolutely do. So, you know, think about it in context. But if I do get out to extension, maybe they haven't come up over top of me, then it's just a matter of finding your sights. Okay? When it's anything closer, that's that skin-to-skin contact where that gives me awareness of where my muzzle is. Does that answer it, Joe?
Yes.
Okay, good. You guys ready to do it one more time?
Threat.
All right, let's see how everybody looks here.
Everybody's been decaffeinated.
Depending on how we go, okay, if we go backwards, which way are we going to fall? We're going to fall back and, you know, hit our hind end and, you know, basically a parachute landing fall, you know, feet, butt, head, despite what they try and teach you, because that's the way that they all go, right? But if I'm going back at an angle, okay, or I start to cross my feet with movement, which way could I end up going when I trip up?
Down?
Down, right, but
Side.
to the right or to the left, right? Or if maybe somebody pushes me, like I'm sure some of y'all have seen the video about the older gentleman. It was, I think, down in Florida.
He went up to the one woman, started cussing at her because they parked in the handicap spot and weren't handicapped. And the boyfriend or husband or whatever thug he was come out and came up and just pushed the dude, slammed him, and he fell down. He ended up right here. Okay. He drew his gun out and gave that guy a little bit of loving. And actually it ended up being a justifiable shooting because Florida has a stand your ground law. And there was a disparity of force in this next. The guy was in his 70s. This was a young, really big buff guy. But we could conceivably end up on our right or left side. Technique's still the same, getting back up. What's our end state and goal?
Just stand up.
Get back to your feet, right? So we got a good base, and now we have mobility, okay? Because mobility is our friend. Moving to the different positions is the same thing. Draw stroke might change up a little bit depending on, you know, which side we are and what our carry method is, but it's all the same. Okay? So we're not going to run through a bunch of drills right and left because some of you have already done it. Okay, but like I said, the principles and concepts are exactly the same, and that end state that we want to reach is the same. So, but think about that and put it into your practice routines, dry or with a blue gun or a cert pistol or something like that. Try these different ways, these disadvantageous positions on your back, on your side. Heck, even what happens if I fall flat? That presents a lot of problems, right? Do I roll over? Do I kick around? Do I do, you know, but play with it a little bit and figure out what works for you, because there are some constraints with flexibility, mobility, and physical limitations to those. And we can't replicate every single one here on the range, but what we can do is give you some tools and understand that as long as it falls into the principles and concepts and meets the end state, that it's okay, and then we got some practice. Okay, so feet are facing the target just like that. That is 12 o'clock. My head is going to be at the 6 o'clock position. Okay, then everybody knows this type of, or no, I don't have.
Not a digital clock. Not a digital clock.
Everybody know analog? Okay.
Nice.
So 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, etc. Okay. On the threat command, you're going to draw 2 to 3 shots to the pelvis. All the shots are going to be in the pelvis to keep them in the back of the range. Okay. Once everybody's complete, I'll call, in this instance, John will call a clock direction. I'll rotate to that once I get set, and as you guys will see, watch what my legs do to give myself a base. Okay, watch what my upper body does to get a base. Okay, shoot 2 to 3 rounds. Once it's complete there, he's gonna give me another clock direction. Okay, we'll burn through for you guys, not me. We're just gonna do a couple clock directions, about a magazine's worth. Okay, if you run the slide lock in it, okay, make your way up to your knees. And the whole point is, when you're working around the clock, is keeping your muzzle oriented and aware down towards the threat. Okay. When you go to slide lock, make your way up to your knees, keeping your muzzle that way, muzzle aware, trigger finger aware. Do a reload and then make your way back to your feet. You can do your scans and then come back in forward. Okay. Is everybody tracking so far? If you're not, it should make sense here in a minute. Okay. There's going to be a little bit of physicality to this, so do what's within your capabilities. If anybody doesn't feel comfortable doing this one, it's fine. We're going to do it half the class at a time, so every other person, so you have enough room to rotate. If you forget which direction on the clock you're going, no big deal. Okay, if you go to 3 or 9 or whatever, yeah, just work with it. The whole point of the exercise is just maneuvering around the ground, being muzzle aware, and trying the different positions. Yep.
All right, grit. 3 o'clock. 7 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
Okay, we get the slide lock. Okay, watching your muzzle. Do your reload. Make your way to your feet. So on and so forth. Then back in the holster. Okay. Now, I fell into the trap like everybody else did. We're shooting the pelvis for safety. I did the same thing. I initially started center mass, but notice I shifted when I started thinking about anatomy. And we haven't talked about the anatomy of the pelvis, but I shifted from here to here so I can get that destabilization of the pelvis there, if possible, with a handgun. It's hard with a handgun, but we might get lucky. Okay. So everything's a training opportunity. Try and get the most out of it you can. 2 to 3 rounds of the pelvis each position, okay? All right, here we go. Threat. Nine o'clock. Tap and rack. Come on, you know what the default is, Ben.
He wasn't talking to you, man. He actually had somebody with a problem.
There you go. Also, your 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Watch that muzzle. Watch that muzzle. 6 o'clock. Two o'clock. Seven o'clock.
Work through it.
Work through it. Add slide lock. Make your way to your knee. Do the emergency reload.
Quickness.
Make your back up.
There you go.
Way to their feet.
Take your work through your sights.
John, go ahead and make your way to your feet.
Your scans.
All right, right side of the range, go ahead and get on your backs.
Oh shit, you lost the hat.
All right, you're now in the 6 o'clock position. You're now in the 6 o'clock position. 2 to 3 rounds in the pelvis. Then you get another clock direction. Here we go, and threat. 3 o'clock. Watch that muzzle. 9 o'clock. 4 o'clock. 11 o'clock. 'All right, slowly make your way to your knees and up to your feet.
I just think you cheated.
Assess the threat. Scan your world. Top them off if you need to. Once everything's right in your world, your guns are in a condition that you're happy with. Go ahead and look them back into the holster. Ensuring you have a clear pathway and finger is in register. Excellent. Excellent. All right, go ahead and top off magazines. Get a quick drink of water. This is going to finish up this close proximity kind of on the ground stuff. Okay, so the last couple drills that we did, we were fighting from disadvantageous positions, right? We ended up on the ground, on our back, on our side, something like that. Okay, now we've done, and how we get there is not the scope of this class, but now we're in an advantageous position in the mount on this heavy bag. Okay, now there is a lot that goes along with this. Again, this is a skill set isolation micro drill for people to be familiar with it. Okay, there's legalities that you have to think about. Can I articulate and justify, now that I'm in the mount position, are they still a threat? Or is there multiple people out there, so there's a disparity of force? Can I articulate why I shot this person when I'm straddling on top of them? Okay, so things that we have to think about. Again, this is just a drill, and how we ended up getting there, okay, is not part of the scope of this class. Okay, whatever ninja, jujitsu, kung fu, jitsu you do to get there, but now we're in this advantageous position where we're on top. We've deemed that there's still a threat, and my goal is to take care of this threat and get back to my feet so I have my mobility back. Okay, is everybody tracking with me so far? So what we're going to do, guys, we'll get everybody, as you come up here, this is obviously done individually. As you're standing up, we'll get you loaded, made ready, or check status, whatever the case may be, and then we're going to go back into the holster. That high pectoral index comes into play again here because we're in close proximity, and I have to have awareness of my muzzle. So I'll walk through it dry first. Okay,
So we're not doing strikes or anything here. Like I said, we've gotten to this position, okay, and I decided, and I'm gonna draw out, and I'm either in this high pectoral index, and move if you need to be able to see. I drew a nice little heart here. I got a peripheral index of where the gun is, and I know where the muzzle is. If we want to take this support hand and reinforce this here, I don't have a problem. You can apex your thumbs because we won't get a full two-handed grip, but now I've got kind of a support of that high pectoral index. That's fine. Okay, we're gonna do 2 to 3 shots, bangity bangity bang. Okay, get up, do my scan. I'm looking for other threats. I'm gonna get my way back to my feet. Notice I use the bag or the body to get up. I'm gonna take a step back. You can conduct the rest of your scans and then back into the holster. Okay, and then the drill's complete. This is not a speed drill. Be muzzle aware on this one. We don't need you shooting yourself. So threat, I'm gonna draw out. I'm gonna come to that high pectoral index. I'm keeping my support hand plastered to my body, okay? I got that peripheral reference. They all went right into the heart. Now I'm gonna move my gaze up. I'm checking to see there's no other threats coming. I'm gonna stand up, be muzzle aware, okay? I can double check and assess that if I need to create more space. I start that 180, my 360, and then if you wanna do that proactive reload, that's fine. And then back into the hole. Orient that muzzle. There. 1, 2, 3. Threat. Okay, good. Now move your gaze up. Make your way to your feet. Okay, watch that muzzle. And go ahead and take a step back. Do your full scans. Nope, don't quit on me. Okay. Deep breath and look it back into the holster when you're ready. All right, Abner. You in a condition you're happy with?
Because you can't bring it out of batteries.
Got video to just show that I've done it every damn time.
And threat.
But I do know about that.
Okay. Excellent. Good.
That was one hand.
And back in the holster when you're ready. Remember, when we're in that dominant position and I got control, look up quick. Make sure somebody's not coming.
I can articulate that.
You've got control of him. You can feel where he's at. So I don't have to necessarily see him.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Good. Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
All right, next. Good to go?
Yep.
And threat. Okay, good. Make your way back to your feet. Excellent. Good. All right. You good to go, Sean? Mm-hmm. Okay. Nice and slow. Watch that support hand. And threat. Good. Okay, slowly make your way to your feet. Good. Recover when you are ready. Threat. Good. Excellent. Everything that we've done up to this point has been a shoot solution, right? I mean, not counting the dry fire, but even that, you guys are going bangity, bangity, banging your head. Okay. That's because this is a shooting class. Okay? If we didn't do any shooting, you guys would never come back to class. But we have to be really good at this shooting solution if they meet that preamble. Means, intent, and ability to be able to apply tactics, critically thinking, problem solve, get fast, accurate hits at high center chest or whatever area that we're shooting at. That's extremely important. We got to be very proficient at it, have that level of automaticity. But also know that that isn't the reality out in the world. Okay. Even if they have a gun, even if they meet that preamble, okay, and I don't know what the statistical data is on it, but if Joe here draws a gun or a knife or whatever the case may be, meets that means, intent, and ability, and I apply tactics and get the gun out, I might get to here and he might change his mind. Okay, he doesn't want to play anymore. And that happens quite a bit. It happens quite a bit. It's starting to go down. People, when they, now more and more we see with their draw guns and come after us, they're there to play. Okay, so we have to be extremely proficient at that. But when it comes to here, we have to be able to exercise tactical patience and be able to stop, and we might have to give a verbal command. So those different ready positions are important too. That's why I call it confrontation ready instead of low ready, because I'm inverting my muzzle down, it's still in this general direction, but I want to be able to see hands and belt line where bad people keep bad things to do bad things to good people. Okay, things like that take like 6 months to be able to get without being tongue-tied.
Right.
But I might give them a verbal command. Drop the gun, drop the knife, get on your knees.
interlace your fingers behind your head, or get flat on the ground, line your feet out, spread your arms out, whatever the case may be. As I move back to cover and that, we have to be well versed, just like the verbal recording that we did yesterday with managing unknown contacts, if it's not a shoot solution. And always then be prepared that it might be initially a shoot solution, turn into a not-shoot solution, and back to a shoot solution in a nanosecond. Okay, especially if there's multiple threats. JB weld sticky. All right, there we go. And then walk down and reset.
So should I show that to the camera? Because that's a pretty slick setup you did there, man. Redneck Turner guns. Is this man creative or what?
Joe, get him.
Oh, it's just the weld broke on it.
Here's things that you guys don't know about Shane. He loves shooting as much as a lot of you out there love shooting.
Put it down!
Back up! Back the fuck up! Okay, man, okay, shit.
Still do that.
I'm out of here. Stay on the ground.
Okay, just for the record.
Okay, like seriously, I would not expect that level of like
You're happy with.
blitzkrieg from Joe. Joe, you are tapping your inner Viking.
Fuck, I only get the only one that you can't shoot. I was already telling somebody to call 911 before he
And by the way, no, listen, seriously, that right there,
it looks like
oh, you could easily mistake that for a gun.
Yeah.
Plus, he's got the whole double hand thing going. Hey, listen, is this guy polydactyl or what? You got a polydactyl guy over here. Because I'm counting more than 5 fingers, just saying.
Hey, you didn't shoot him.
I didn't shoot it.
All right, and begin.
Stop!
Turn away from me! Do it now!
Don't pull it, don't pull
On your knees! Do it now!
Go out the way you can.
Listen, what in the hell is going on there? Bro,
Good.
that is all
He's got 3
kinds
hands.
of,
That's all
that is all kinds of total recoil jacked up. All right, seriously, y'all need to see this. I don't know what he's pulling out of his pants, but I'm disturbed by this.
He was calling to see if I was going to, don't say anything, then they're not complying? They are. Okay, so if you don't say anything.
Shane, what is that? Oh, it's a cell phone. That is what is known as the third hand.
All right, everybody, here we go. And begin.
Stop! Back the fuck up!
Joke out of bed.
It's good. He's down in your world.
There's a snake. There's a snake in the bed.
And when everything's
There was no talking necessary.
What's that?
There was no talking necessary.
No. That one's pretty straightforward.
He pointed a gun at me, Bubba.
Oh, Jamie had a beer bottle.
Downrange?
Downrange, downrange, downrange.
And I didn't game it. I kept my head down until he turned around.
Yep. No,
I'm sorry.
that's okay, man.
You go yet, Scott?
All right, you guys ready? And begin.
Put it down!
Drop it.
He's throwing a gun on me.
Drop the bottle, dude.
Okay. I can't make him drop it. He dropped it. Good. When everything's right in your world, go ahead and make sure everybody's in the holster.
Gun.
Begin.
Whoa!
Drop the bottle. Drop it. Okay, man. Jesus. Gee, why are you pulling a gun on me? I just didn't see if you had a beer. Okay. Remember, don't forget about everything else. Remember your scans and all that stuff. True. That's okay. That's a good one. I didn't think that. There's been a couple people who shot it.
Yeah? No?
I know you've noticed this, but I want you to point it out for the camera. Let's go over here.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to point out for the camera why that bottle got shot.
So, a lot of people, when they were looking at this, because we're in a shooting school and everything is a shooting solution, we're doing the target discrimination because a lot of times we might have to give a verbal command. Gun comes out, that might solve the problem. It doesn't guarantee us that, but in this instance here, we got a bottle. It's aimed towards the people. They think it's because it's dark colored and it looks like it's got a barrel on it. Instead of taking that nanosecond to problem solve and critically think and realize what it is, they just automatically start shooting. And that's why we've got several rounds here, whether they were effective or not. And also where the rounds are, they forget to shift their gaze, because even if this was a gun, that's the thing that's going to be hurting us. And so we tend to, our gaze is already focused there. What we need to do is, once we identify that it's a threat, focus it into an area where we're going to get good penetration, get good knockdown of that threat to end that scenario at the time. But it's just a product of training, and we need to do more of it, that shifting that gaze once we identify it's a threat, to keep from shooting in the hands and getting good shots where they need to be. But, yep, we're missing the
threat fixation.
Yep.
Everybody does it.
Whoa, man, CPD. Put it down, put it down. Stop right there. Back the fuck up. Give me Hey, put the gun down. Show me some identification. Yeah, show me some ID. Move slowly. Yep,
good. This will be familiar. Most of these will be familiar to everybody, with the exception of the last one. So it'll be a refresh. But we did yesterday, at the end of the day, the last drill we did was started to apply tactics and implement that movement by doing a single step off line, right? And I talked about all the reasons for that, resetting the decision-making process, doing something that's unexpected. If we can get to the outside, okay, and there's some reasons for that, because as we add steps or we add complexity to things, again, the environment is going to drive what we're going to do. But if one step is good, and I'm not constrained in by my environment, multiple steps might be better. I'm not a big proponent of moving and shooting. Okay, there are a couple instances, just like moving backwards, where I think that they're applicable. But by and large, we're not multitaskers, and so I think you should be task fixated and do one of two things: either move or plant your feet and shoot. But don't try and put them together, because if we look at videos and stuff, and not that it can't be done, it's just a high-level skill that takes a lot of work. And for us as an armed citizen, I don't really see the applicability to it. If Ken is a bad guy, okay, and I'm here and I'm going to apply tactics, and I have the ability to do that, okay, yeah, could I pull my gun out and shoot while I'm going? Yeah, absolutely. But he's probably moving, I'm scared, he may or may not be scared. We got this dynamic environment depending on what the lighting conditions are. Is that a recipe for me getting good shots on him? Probably not. I'm accountable for every round that goes down range. With moving and shooting, if you look at videos that are out there, by and large, not everybody, but by and large, what happens when they start moving and shooting? Because that gun's bobbling around, right? And so it's counterproductive to what we're trying to do. Now, like I said, not that you can't get to a skill level where we can move quickly, and actually the faster that you move, we plane out just like a boat, okay? And it can be done, but do I want to spend that much time there? I would rather, again, if Ken is my aggressor, okay, shift my hips in the direction of travel, because I'm going to take more than one step, blast off to potentially a piece of cover or create space. Because as I create space and gain distance, what does that buy me? Time. A little bit of time, right? While I'm doing that, because I've practiced enough, I can clear my cover garment, I can start to draw the gun out. When it starts to clear the holster is when I plant my feet, turn my hips in the direction of travel. Where my feet are irrelevant now, it's the base that I'm concerned about, and drive the gun out and get fast, accurate hits. This is a fighting mobile stance, so if I need to, again, bangity bangity bang, and Ken doesn't drop down, or maybe he starts to shoot in my direction, or there's multiple people, what can I do again? I go in one of those ready positions and I can blast off. Okay, so that's how, in my opinion, for most of us, we implement movement into applied tactics to gain the advantage. Go to the right, okay? Anywhere from 2 to 5, 2 to 4, 2 to 5 rounds, high, center, chest, assessing your work through your sights. Everybody covered? All right, so I got my hands up. I see opportunity, threat, I'm gonna move. Gun comes out, plant my feet, drive it. Okay, assess my work through my sights. I got a desired effect. And I don't know how many rounds I shot, so I'm gonna top off. Keep my eye on that threat. Everything's right in my world, and I'm back in the holster. Okay, for you guys, once we get over there and you do your your scans and all that, just keep your feet where you're at. So we're gonna come back the other way, still shooting the same target. Plant your feet, drive your hips back. Okay, try not to cross your feet. All right, we're going to the right, 2 to 5 rounds. Huh? When the gun starts to clear the holster, plant your feet. However many steps that takes. Normally it's about 2 or 3. Okay. Going to the right and press. Scan your world. Looking back into the holster when everything's right in your world. Keep your feet where you're at. We're going to go back the opposite direction once everybody's set. Right. Alright, scan your world. And back in the holster when it's in a condition you're happy with and everything is right in your world. Going to the left, 2 to 5 rounds, high center chest, going to the left. Threat. Scan your world. Good, watch that muzzle, Mike.
Yeah. I came back, I saw him.
Yep. No, you stopped it, All right, going back to the right, Threat. Good, scan your world. Back in the holster and everything's right in your world. All right, to the left.
Anything malicious.
Threat.
Right?
Good. When you're in a condition you're happy with, everything's right in your world, looking back into the holster. Once I identify that this person is a threat and I go to move and I turn my hips, okay, I need to, at the very least, keep them in my periphery. Okay. We have a tendency that we want to look where we're going to go because we don't want to trip over anything. Okay. So when I turn my head, so Mike, if you're the bad guy, okay, and bad guys are dumb, but they're not that dumb, and I do this, what are you going to do?
I'm closing that distance immediately.
You're closing the distance, or at the very least, you're going to move, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what happens to my decision-making process when I get here and you've taken 3 steps that way?
You've basically interrupted your own OODA loop.
Exactly. So, but if I can keep you in my peripheral vision, I can see that in my peripheral vision that I'm clear. Heck, I might even need to get an arm up just to block my head. But now if you move, now I've still got you acquired. And so when the gun starts coming out and you're over here, I still got you and I can drive that gun out. Okay, so one point there. On this one wasn't too bad. It's not too severe, the angles. This one might be a little bit more so. Okay, so on Mr. Gallicanocas, as we start moving, and we generally, the topography and the environment is going to dictate which way we go. Okay, so we've right now only done laterally, single step, multiple step. Okay, we can go at a 45 if I can get to the outside. So I know our brain will scream, I don't want to, again, using Mike, going this way, it's gonna be like, I don't want to do that, I'm closing the distance. But it actually works to our advantage, angles, because if I get to here, to his outside, it's counterintuitive for him to swing. If he starts to swing the gun, what's he got to fight?
Inertia.
Inertia. Okay, so there's a chance that he could overshoot me, which then I can plant my feet.
Yeah, inertia and his own body mechanics.
Yep, absolutely. If I happen to go to the inside and do it, everybody, it doesn't matter who you are, gets what they call oblique bind. So if you just put your arms out and you come here, it's normally about right here, and it's just a hitch in our giddy up. So if I can get out that, then as you fight, or they fight through it, they end up blasting past you again creating opportunity for you to do what you need to do. So that's an option also. A step at a 45 or multiple steps at a 45. What a lot of people, if the area will allow us to do it, tend to lump those together and we kind of J-hook out. So I initially take that step, but then I kind of go circular and I J-hook out. So I'm at kind of a 45 and a lateral to get a better position of advantage to get the gun out and I plant my feet and shoot. All right, and threat. All right, and back in the holster. Notice when I ended up at the angle, where did most of my shots go? Because we can see the shirt moving, right? So, yeah, could I went here? That's where the heart is and stuff, but there's a real good chance it's going to ricochet off those ribs and breastplate and all that stuff that's there. So, think about that anatomy when we're up here. Okay? Find your sight. See them in acceptable target area before we make it go bang. All right, who's first? Either direction you want. You go the opposite one on the second run, okay?
Okay.
All right, and threat. Okay, good assessment work. Excellent, excellent. Good, back in your holster when everything's good, your whirl. Be careful of crossing your feet. You feel how it tripped you up as you turned your hips? Mm-hmm. Big thing. It's what we talk about with competition. It's one of the byproducts of that.
Yeah.
That can
Trying to move fast.
yeah, it's okay for that, but when it transfers over here, it can cause some problems. You also notice good shots, but you notice how you started gravitating lower?
Yeah.
That A-zone area that is nice and, so we're gonna go the opposite way this time, Mike. Looking good though. Okay, and threat. There we go. Yeah, work. Good, good.
Clear that malfunction like a pro.
Excellent. Back in. Yep, once it's in a condition you're happy with. Threat. Okay. Scan your world. When everything's right in your world, back in the holster and it's in a condition that you're happy with. All right, opposite direction, same thing. Threat. Good. Scan your world. And back in the holster when you are ready. All right, whichever direction you want. Sean, ready, and threat.
So this is 19X magazine.
Good.
Lot 17X.
Back in the holster.
For the 19X.
And threat.
19X, 17, 34 max.
Good. Much, much better. Much better shot play. More gooder.
More gooder.
Good. And threat. Good.
Sounds good on the
Scan
inside.
your world. Excellent.
Shit is painful.
Back in the holster. Center back up. And threat.
Push off slide.
Good.
That's the material of the target.
Yeah, I was trying to go too fast and then
Maybe.
get my sights.
Excellent, excellent. Next, desire
We're in a bowls,
and
surrounded by
threat.
trees.
Okay. Work through the problem and move. Don't cement your feet. Movement works. Don't slow down. Think about what you're doing. Fix it. Okay. Continue on. Give me a couple rounds. High center chest. Good. Scan your world. Remember, get that scan out, not just down here at the ground. There's nobody belly crawling up on you. Go ahead, put it back in the holster. Remember, if we're doing movement to gain the advantage, if we're doing that, if something happens to our gun, it's even more important that we move. Be careful though, don't do this bunny hop. Turn your hips and move, man. Okay, we're gonna go to the left. You got one more time, we're gonna go to the left here. Looking good. All right, you ready, Joe? Yep. Threat. Good. Good. Back in the holster. All right, is it in a condition you're happy with?
Skin.
This is
Okay,
what makes the
whichever
difference.
direction, and go. Okay. Good, Scott. Back in the
What's with that big ass grin?
holster. Back up.
Grin all the time. All the fucking time.
Opposite direction.
And I got that
Threat.
on video too.
Got it.
That's okay, work through it. Slow down, take a breath, get it fixed. Good.
I didn't want to go too far that way because
That's okay. That's okay.
Oh my goodness gracious.
All right, Graham, you just dropped on
We
the
not do
ground.
that in a gunfight. That is
Good.
bad.
Hey, way to problem solve, man. Yep. All right, whichever direction you want to start off with. And threat. Good, scan your
Don't get drawn in down to center mass. Get a little bit low. Keep your sights up nice and high. Think about center mass. Go to the right. Correct.
You just keep thinking. It clears it almost every time.
Much better. Just scan your world. Good. Peter back in the holster when you feel it. As it's coming up, that's a one-dimensional target. Remember, I identify the threat, we see the gun. Shift your gaze to where you want your bullet to go. And that's where you put your sights. Okay? Slow down. When you plant your feet and the gun comes out, okay, take a nanosecond breath, exercise tactical patience, find your sights and get good shots. If, as we're pulling it, you only get one or two, but they're good high center chest hits, okay, in an appropriate area, that's fine. I'd rather that than 7, 8, or 9 that are shotgun pattern all around, okay, because you're trying to go fast. It's going to go at just a walking pace, okay, just a walking pace. It's just to get you used to it. A lot of times, if you haven't shot this before, we see people, they plant their feet and they just start blasting away. And when you plant your feet, what are you doing?
You make yourself a stationary target.
Yeah, but you're stationary shooting, right? Which is the most solid platform. So, I said, if you want to integrate into shooting and moving and all that, that's great. But I'm telling you, from experience, it doesn't work out real well. And especially when we're accountable for every round that's downrange. I said there's a time and a place for moving and shooting, but I would rather plant my feet, get a couple good solid hits, and then be moving again if I needed to. Okay, so this one again, we're going to plant our feet, get a couple good hits, and then we will get about everybody through here. All right, Ken. Still all loaded up in that?
Yeah.
I'm ready to rock and roll, boss.
Are you ready to rock and roll? Just don't shoot my weight over there, okay?
I'm not that damn bad. The rope maybe, but no, I'm not that damn bad.
All right, here we go. All right, you can move when it starts, or do whatever you want when it starts moving. Okay.
Let's try for the barrel.
Cross them feet. All right, scan your world. Then looking back at the holster when it's in a condition you're happy with.
Going down range.
Yep. And put your hand out like this.
Cross the feet.
Well, you cross your feet, but you did exactly the opposite of what I said. What did I say when you plant your feet?
Turn the sheet.
Well, that, but take a nanosecond breath, exercise tactical patience, and find your sights. They were okay shots, but all those errant shots that are out there is because you were making noise instead of finding your sights where you needed to be to make the bullet go.
Fair enough.
It happens all the time. That's the punishment. You get slapped on the
All
wrist.
right.
All right, scan your world.
This one.
Scan back in the holster. Good. Same thing. Take
Yeah,
that
when he's
nano
doing
set.
that?
Yep.
That headshot's an interesting endeavor.
That's why we don't go for headshots.
That's a fucking hood shot. You didn't even get the head.
So, hey guys, it's a great learning point here. You know, Abner a lot of times on these drills, because he does have an extreme amount of training, will shoot headshots, and it's the cleanest part of the target most of the time. Okay, craniocular bolt shot in the head. It's relatively small. Okay, about maybe 5 inches, but it's crossed right from the eyebrows up and to right about where the mustache is, and it comes down. We got hard bone structure here. We got a lot of cavity here. We got hard bone structures here. As you guys, some of you guys have heard me talk about before, I know 2 guys in group that were shot in the head with a rifle underneath their helmet, zipped around on the inside. Now, I knocked them silly, but they were okay. They ended up getting back in the fight after they got their wits about them. So, talk about it in a dynamic environment with this head movement. So all these, you know, the failure drill, to the body, 1 to the head, or go right to the head. Not that we shouldn't practice it if the opportunity presents itself to us, which it did in Texas with the guy in the church shooting. Okay, it was the only thing that was there, and he got lucky. But it's really hard to do. Okay, that's why we strive high center chest, because this guy's bobbing along because the undulating terrain that's here. Okay,
Which is a great approximator.
Yep, yeah. And you can see where the shots are. Peripheral at the best. Well, you had one real good one, but a peripheral and then catastrophic miss.
Yeah.
So.
And that one will find the 5-year-old.
Yep. That's why this isn't always the option unless it's the only option that we have, or we do something to slow this down. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, who's next? Close up to the
All
vampire.
right, Blitzkrieg Joe, get it. Yeah.
All right, Joe, you ready? Do great things. Find your
He
sight.
went at the threat.
Scan your world. And back at the holster, Joe. Good.
Good group.
Scan your world. Excellent. And back at the holster. Go.
Oh, and thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, you bet.
First time I see it.
Good. Scan your world. And back in the holster.
Is Scott. Nice.
Ready, Scott? Here we go.
I took my eyes on it. Okay. Shit.
You know what's interesting about this drill is
You quit.
you know how
You quit.
actually you're accustomed to seeing the student move, stop, stabilize, shoot, but the added thing here is that thing is doing this.
Yeah.
So you might be stable, but
Yeah. That's why it's very important to take that nanosecond breath and find your sight.
this is good. Well done.
Everybody get really close in your face and work ground and all that. Into movement, apply tactics, and so those are the more applicable areas of where a fight is probably going to happen for us as an armed citizen, and we just know that statistically. And you know, you could go and read Tom's book, get statistics there. Or the Department of Justice, they do a paper every year, crime statistics and all the things associated with it. You can watch the news, you can read the NRA magazine with the armed citizen thing in the front, all that, and kind of determine that, hey, you know, 3 to 7 yards, about a car length, anywhere from 3 to 7 rounds, and when the gun comes out, the gunfight's normally over in anywhere from 3 to on the outside about 5 seconds. It's just statistically proven. Okay? So knowing all those things can kind of drive the way we train, but it can also drive the way that we practice too. So with that, that's where some of these time standards come in, these arbitrary times off of these statistics. So that's why we did the 3-3-3 drill earlier today, and I didn't put you on a timer because I know everybody will be within 3 seconds. But that's taken out of those statistics, and it's a pretty realistic cold and on-demand drill. If we can do that, and be within the time and accuracy standards, that's a good judge of where we're at. But we know lately in the news we had an active shooter where there was distance. I talked yesterday about how Tom Gibbons in his off time likes to go to the food court in malls and pace them off to see, and he's determined that the average food court, now this is across the food court, not counting the hallways, and that is in America is about 28 yards. Okay, so that's vastly outside of the normal ranges that we go train and practice in, right? Tom's own students, I told you guys about it yesterday, one of his students had a one-shot stop across the street at 22 yards, high center chest. Okay, that's those anomalies though, but we do see them happen sometime. And I said statistics are great for driving our training and practice in that until something different happens. Okay, so we have to address some of these other things, that outer area of the plausible. So with that, we're over here now. We've got an array of targets, anywhere from, I don't know, that one looks like it's probably about 25 yards, 30 yards, okay, out to somewhere about 55 or 60 yards. Okay, Paul and John were nice enough to come over and set them out, so make sure you thank them.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Finishing the
Love
day.
you.
But what we're going to do is kind of get to know our limits. And we talked a little bit yesterday about, you know, we can get down into a knee, or we get in a prone, we get into a rollover prone like Abner was doing earlier. If there's something to brace off of, like the guy that did in the most recent active shooter, where he braced against, I think it was a Potter or something like that from a kneeling position to do that. But prior to us taking lunch, let's see what we can do and what our limitations are. You can shoot it from a ready position, or you can shoot it from drawn from the holster, or a combination of both. And what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 shooters up here. We're going to kind of spread out. We'll have one here and one right there. So we do keep the things in the berm. And I want you to work your way out on the targets, applying the fundamentals of marksmanship. Now remember, we've got that cone of deviation. The closer that we are, the more I get away with, because we got a nice generous target area. Okay, I can screw some things up. As that cone of deviation gets larger and larger, the farther out, we need to slow up a little bit. We need to refine, make sure our sights are there, prep the trigger, smoothly press it to the rear, follow through all the things that we preach in all the other classes in that marksmanship. But now we got to make sure they're as close to perfection as possible. Remember, center edge of that front sight, so my hard focus needs to be right at that top edge. Don't worry about the dot. Prep the trigger, verify, and then...
Why reload when you can re-gun?
Remember about you can do it with that little gun, but it is very, very hard. So, all right, I heard you taking them. Good job.
Yeah.
Step on off. Give me 2 more shooters. Get somebody else up here. All right, make sure they're in a condition you're happy with. Everybody make sure we stay covered up. Go ahead and begin. Scan your world back into the holster.
Throw a rock at him. I got pissed off.
You scared him, Ken?
With these sights, you have to aim a little low.
Sure.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always anomalies. Hey, just a couple quick points for your iron sight shooters. Okay, remember, hard focus on the center of the top edge of the sight. Okay, center of the top edge of the sight. Don't worry about if there's dots or anything on there. Even across the top, even amounts of light, hard focus on the center edge, put it where you want the bullet to go. You guys that are shooting red dots, remember, don't get sucked into your dot. Stay target focused, let the dot fall in and superimpose itself on there. Okay. Easy on that trigger. Prep, verify, press. There you go. Prep, verify. There you go.
Look at Sean. Look at Sean.
Did you get through all of them?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and hold it.
Get some, Joe.
Good, Joe.
Oh yeah, okay, that's a 2x4. I'm like, what the heck did he hit?
Yeah.
It's wild how, like, when you have
Okay.
a little target,
Remember, prep the trigger,
focus goes
verify the
so
sight,
much.
smoothly press through.
The big paper ones, like, and it's a pretty cool. But you put like a little black square up there.
Verify. There we go.
There it is. Good job.
Press, verify. There we go.
There you go.
And back into the holster.
Hurrah!
Every day it's going forward.
Excellent. Good job, Joe.
And it's
Well done, young man. Well done.
All right. Scott, you guys shoot?
Yeah.
Come on, get on up here.
Smiley Scott.
All right, make sure they're in a condition you're happy with.
Give the camera. Give the camera those pearly whites. Get it in. That's all right. I'm married. I'm accustomed to being ignored.
Yeah, we'll probably do that. For the distance, right away. Verify.
To you.
Verify. Easy on the trigger.
recording.
That's okay. Good follow. Good.
That was good.
That was good.
That was really good. And I got it on video.
Active shooter, or if we're out in an armed conflict, guess where a lot of penetrating trauma is?
Chest and dog.
Yep. Chest, neck, and head is primarily where it is. So Greg Elephants did a study, and he pulled a whole bunch of stuff and started looking at the wound modality of active shooters. And guess how many cases of active shooters? And I think he looked at 700 people that were injured. And guess how many people needed a tourniquet?
Portion. Small.
There was one, and her wounds were so bad that it wouldn't have made a difference. So what becomes about that fire hose is push it up against the bone.
I'd be willing to bet that your smartphone gives before you can get the hemorrhage control.
If your smartphone what?
Yeah, will break before you get hemorrhage control.
And same thing goes for if we're up on the arm and they've got junk in, you know, like pockets or something and they're up here. Yes.
Does it ever matter if they are flexing their muscle or if it's constricting? Like the muscle's constricting?
There are ways for like a leg, if there's no bone involvement, that you can either pick the leg up or bend the leg and twist till the blood bleeding stops, and then straighten the leg out. When the musculature gets elongated, that puts even more pressure. Give it a try. Bend your leg and then straighten it out. Put it on the leg on yourself and you'll see that'll give even more pressure. But the whole neck does not stop. Well, it will stop all It is a technique. It's not a prescribed technique.
Prognosis is poor.
I'm just wondering if they did that when I did my surgery. On my nose, you know?
They probably.
That may be what I had wrong.
I was just gonna say, that's probably an indication of what.
Man, you're not kidding about straightening that leg. Wow.
Because now you get all that musculature contraction.
Yep. Yeah, but see, you also have it down low. If you bring that up to your groin, you have a lot less function of that muscle doing what
Yeah, because I'm pretty much dead center of that muscle group.
So your leg muscles do extend up here for the front of your legs, but a lot of stuff on the sides and then including on your butt, there's a natural taper right here, and or they overlap with other muscles.
Gluteus medius, I think, is over here, right?
First group guys always talking about butt stuff.
I was talking about musculature, you're talking about
I think it's just
What about this? We're talking about penetrating trauma. I'm not talking about a guy that just fell off a building. I'm not talking about a guy that got hit by a car. I'm talking about a guy that you think got shot because that's what's going on around you, or maybe you got stabbed. All right? So we like working with people when they're on the ground because it's easy to see and manage them, especially as medical providers. But at the end of the day, think about what's easier for you to do what you're doing in this scenario. So it's a lot easier. I'm gonna take these off.
How's that floor feel?
It's actually nice and cool.
It's a lot easier to either straddle or maybe straddle a leg and bring this person to you, because now you can see what's going on around you. Not 360, pretty darn close, right? Because we're not sure what the situation is necessarily, if it's done, maybe. And you can check either with your hands or your eyes or both, everything from right here pretty much. Definitely the things you worry about, all right? The top of the body, the head, the neck, those things. And then I assume when you lay them back down, you're not going to let them just bounce this grape off the fucking ground.
I will say the last time we demonstrated this, he did bounce back.
And it was concrete.
That's why you hesitated.
So from there, everything else is either I can move his legs and or feel. And then remember, light situations when these things happen, you don't always have great light. So it's either feel, right? Blood feels a specific way. It's not the same as water. Or I can see. It's all right here. And if you have to clear garments, right, to look, then clear garments to look. Don't forget to check the axillary pockets, all right? The armpits hide bullets really well, okay? And the groin too.
I.e. President Reagan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this blindly if I can help it. So once it's there, I'm just gonna start replacing my fingers with packing material. So I'm gonna pack that other finger in and pack it right on top, already starting to provide that pressure. After that, I'm going to start filling the space, okay? But the key is getting the pressure there. Now, I probably won't get all of this packing material in there,
but you can try.
But I sure can try, and you're gonna be surprised with these wound cubes, how much you can get in there. If I run out of packing material, take something else to fill the space. The key to it is getting that pressure where that wound originates.
Those Ranger panties would probably work.
The Ranger panties would probably work.
Dirty side out, not in.
Now that I've got it in there, if I have leftover packing material, ball it up and put it on the top, because that's gonna continue to provide pressure. And then we need to secure that in any way, shape, or fashion that we can. In this case, with this pressure dressing, which all this is an elastic band with absorbent material, strategically placed Velcro at various places on the elastic band. Okay, it can be another piece of T-shirt that we pull tight and put the knot on top.
It can be duct tape. It can be anything.
If we do have one of these pressure dressings or just an ace wrap, okay, every time when we go to do a circumferential wrap, pull as much of the elasticity out as you can, and then wrap it around. Pull as much elasticity as you can. That's why they put that different Velcro there, because this always happens, especially in an adrenalized state. Okay? But pull as much of it as you can, because that's putting all the pressure down onto our packing material. And when we get to the end, and now obviously because this is such a short thing, I can manipulate it all over the place. We got to work with whatever limb we have. But once we get to the end of it, we can secure it in any way, shape, or fashion we can. Now in this case, it's got Velcro on the end. If we don't have that ability, just pick up a piece of the elastic wrap, tuck it underneath. Some of them have hooks on the end. This one does also, that we can hook in. But now I've got that pressure pushing down where that wound originated, and I've got it wrapped. So now if I need to move the patient, or if they're ambulatory and I want to move them, okay, this is going to keep that pressure. I don't have to sit here and hold it in this dynamic environment. Does that make sense? Hey, did I miss anything, John? Okay.
The other thing you do want to be aware of, if this is an injury that you do not want to create a tourniquet-like effect with, if you ramp every pass with that much tension, that elastic material will constrict after the fact, and you might get an unintended tourniquet-like effect, which we talked about, probably isn't going to be detrimental in any fashion, but if that's not what you're trying to do, just be aware that that elastic material will snap back. Okay?
And also with that, like John said, you can create a tourniquet-like effect. That's why it is so effective, and you can control a large majority of the bleeding, probably up to, I don't know, probably about 90%.
The only reason we don't teach packing instead of, we go straight to tourniquet instead of packing, is because tourniquet application is faster. So you don't lose the blood, you know what I'm saying, you can control it faster. But arguably, you could, most of those injuries, pack them and get the end result you're looking for. It would just take you longer, and they'd lose more blood in the process. And depending on what your, let's call it, tactical situation is, that might not be the right time to take the time to pack.
Hey girl, after my divorce.
Oh, that is so tight. But you know what? When they do that, that means they're talking to you.
Yep.
And they're breathing.
I didn't become a rep to make money on selling shit. I did it so people I teach can get medical gear they want for a better price. Okay? So, if you want medical gear, get a hold of Shane, he'll put you in contact with me, whatever we gotta do. And whether you want a kit like Shane has, whether you want a kit that Shane has, or you have an idea of, hey, I want a box like this, and I want to go put items in a car, I'll make you a kit. It doesn't cost any more. I put Shane's logo on kits, which he probably doesn't have any in here.
I don't.
Okay?
John had a hand in developing this kit when he was finishing up his military career as an instructor in the ROTC program up at Dickinson College in Pennsylvania. So they had a grant to work with law enforcement, so they put this kit together, which everything that we've covered in all the commercial stuff, with the exception of the gloves that you've messed with today, is in this kit in this nice little case.
It also checks that block of stop the bleed, if that's one of those things you guys are aware of in their kits.
Yep. And so On top of it, like I said, you guys will get a Stop the Bleed certificate here because both John and I are Stop the Bleed instructors and this meets their criteria. And then these kits are available if anybody wants to buy them. We sell these for, I think it's $65. Calley will look on the website. Again, we don't really want to make any money on these things because that was the reason when John and I sat down and were talking about this. That kind of disgusted us was if you look 65. Okay, when you look across the board for people that sell these kits, and you can do an internet search that have the quality medical gear that are in these kits, and now you all have the training to go along with it, is they were ridiculously priced. I've seen kits that had less stuff in them than this that are over $100.
When you just said $65, I was like, what?
Yep.
So we said 19 or 29, that's for the tourniquet alone.
Oh, okay, because I was kidding you.
The other $35, that's Shane's profit margin, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. So the tourniquets, and we do have a bunch here if anybody wants to get tourniquets. Yeah, we sell them for, you know, what they are. You buy them for $20.
Yeah.
These kits, $65, everything is in them. You all have had your hands on them already, and then they have the additional gloves. The inclusive dressings with the vents, like I have here, the compact ones, there's a 2-pack that's in here. Pressure dressings in here, it's the, this is the compact, or I believe it's a micro.
It's basically a little bit smaller version of that one that you were playing with today.
Yep. Cat tourniquet, packing material, all that stuff in the case. So, like I said, we didn't do this to make money. We did it to get people medical gear and associated training. So, because it all costs money, and you know, you guys are nice enough to spend the money to come take this class in addition to your time and buying ammo and all that, and traveling for some of y'all. So, I just can't do what some other people do and put $100, $125, $150 on a kit when we know what the stuff costs, because that's doing you a disservice. Okay, we want you to be as prepared as you possibly can be if you ever find yourself in a situation, whether it's a medical situation or a lethal force or a combination of both, to have the abilities to protect yourself, take care of yourselves, and you all go home at night, you and the people that you care about.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a live fire portion here with medical. Okay, John's going to run it because I'm going to set up the scenario that we're going to finish up with tonight. Okay. So this is going to be live fire. Everybody bring their training tourniquets with them. Okay. Make sure prior to getting started that you have it all set up either the way that you want it or the way that we talked about it while we were in the classroom. Okay.
Everybody's making adjustments now.
Well, you'll have plenty of time to do that. Okay. So you guys remember the drill that we finished up with last night, right? Where we started instituting movement and applied tactics with a single step lateral to the left or the right. Okay. That's the drill that you're going to do again. John will call the direction. He'll call the number of rounds. Okay. Just like the drill last night or anything else that we've done. We go through that Y protocol, okay? We've identified the threat, gun comes out, I've instituted movement, etc. Shoot the prescribed number of rounds, gun goes through cycle function, cycle recoil, I'm assessing my work through my sights that I get a desired effect, and then I start my threat scans, okay? At some point, when the threat scans are either done or during the threat scan, John is going to call out something to the tune of left arm, right leg, something like that, one of these appendages, okay? That is your cue to holster your firearm and apply a tourniquet to that limb, okay? If it is an arm, there is bone involvement. You don't get to hold it up like this. It is dead at your side, okay? Sometimes we have to get creative. I didn't talk about this in the classroom, but some of y'all have had it in the last class. Get creative. How do we hold that in place? Okay, try and get it up there. Maybe I have to bend down and hold that tourniquet so I can pull it tight. Maybe I don't, but some things to think about. Okay, get the tourniquet in place, twist, twist, twist till the bleeding stops. John, once the tourniquet is in place, okay, you can draw the firearm back out and continue to assess your situation.
With both hands?
Huh?
With both hands, or is that now?
No,
Okay,
once the
that's
tourniquet's there, it's
okay.
dead. It's dead.
All right, 2 to 4 rounds, step to the left. Threat! Left arm, tourniquet, go! Your signature on there.
Wow, that's some fabulous Velcro.
we doing? Once you get your tourniquet in place, get your firearm back in your hand. Make sure the threat is either not a threat anymore, or you're ready to engage. Ow! All right, index. Holster and removing tourniquets. 3 rounds. Threat! Right leg!
Ooh, right leg. This ought to be good.
I love how everybody fell down automatically. I like that reaction. Ow. Medic. High and tight, high and tight. Get that thing up as high as you can. Make sure there's nothing in that pocket. You're going to be pissed if you crush your iPhone. You get that bad boy on.
Well, no, if you're in the way, I can't spin this thing.
Make sure you're watching that threat. It's not encroaching on you again.
It's surviving.
Oh, it's worse. How we doing? I don't see too many guns back out there yet. Has everybody just forgotten that part now?
Yes.
Move to the left. 2 to 4 rounds. Threat! Right arm!
Oh, that's right. That's dead.
What did we say about pulling towards the center? Makes your life a little easier.
Any good?
As long as you get it on, I don't care. Remember we said though, if you pull that red tab towards the center,
Yeah.
it makes
I
it
remember
easier.
that,
You have to chase it around.
Yeah.
That's why.
Holy
I
testicle
remember
Tuesday.
that, but it's hard to find that red thing.
I don't.
Okay, call it.
It'll be okay. It'll be all right.
We can go a couple hours, you said.
Damn it, Joe! My arm hurts!
All right, just drop it.
We're getting some training over here.
The holster later.
Yep. Drop
Finish
it.
the draw.
Oh, my arm is
There
definitely
you go. Index it on the target.
Oh.
All right.
There you go.
All up stuff.
All right. Index. Remove them. Holster them.
So it kind of
Go ahead and
feels
transfer back to your palm of your hand.
Yeah, you can use your hand.
kind of feels normal.
You just pull up the belt.
That's clips on, so just finger
Yep.
I realized when you called the direction that I would have been shooting right into my own tripod.
And it would have been hilarious if
So
you were the one
I
that
know.
shot it.
Oh, I've already killed 2 of them. Wow, that's throbbing. Oh.
Moving back to the right. 2 to 4 rounds. Threat! Left arm!
Here comes the pain. Yeah.
Just weakness leaving the body.
Oh, okay, that's about it right there.
Let's know you're not dead yet.
That's right.
Yep, that's right. Pain knows you, let you know you're alive.
All right. Holster them. Take them back off. Work through it, work through it. Left leg. High and tight on that leg. Make sure you clear those pockets. High and tight.
Watch those gonads.
It's like doing a Swiss seat.
All right, once you get your tourniquet on, you can stay where you are. Leave your weapon holster, please. So you can still feel your pulse down there, just so you know.
Okay.
It's not that you have to tighten it more, but it would require more tightening. Okay? As a point of reference for how hard that might be to do.
No.
Okay. How about you?
I could probably go 1 or 2 times.
Okay.
I could go 2 turns more.
Still got a pulse on there.
Still got a pulse?
There's 2. Oh, I got 1 more.
It's weak, but it's still there.
Just a little bit. All right.
So I did that just as, you can take them off. I did that just as a reference, especially on the thighs. To truly stop a distal pulse or the pulse at the far end of your leg, it takes a lot of cranking.
Yeah.
So about that point where, as a general rule, if you're applying it to yourself, about that point where it hurts, crank it 1 more. All right? But the reality is that you're doing this if you're bleeding, right? So you have a visual cue, if this is real, of the blood stopped. All right? But they are not pleasant. That's why we tell you have to watch people you put them on. Arms not so much, but definitely legs. They might, if they're semi-conscious, try and take them off themselves. Right? You won't know that you got that until they're yelling at you.
Hey, one of the things, guys, that I didn't bring up in the classroom, okay? If you're working on another person, remember, operator feels no pain.
Yeah.
Pain's the patient's problem.
Yep, pain is the patient's problem. Now, we need all the killing stuff off, okay? Guns, magazines, everything that you can think of, okay? Put it over there. I will replace your blue training tourniquets with an older cat tourniquet. Works exactly the same way, okay? For the scenario for that. Any other medical gear that you'll need to cut down on carrying things will be at the site if you maybe need it, okay? As you come over, you will be patted down by myself and John. Okay.
Both, just to make sure.
Yep. Double checking on this. Okay. Because when we start to get,
Well, Shane, because he has to.
Hold
John,
on.
because he
Hey,
likes it.
hey, hold on, everybody. This is not the fuck around time. Okay. This is where people get hurt and people get killed in scenario training because people fuck around and a live round gets in there and somebody gets shot, stabbed, OC'd, or something else. So we can goof around at any other time. This is not the time for it. Save it for the end. Okay? You will be patted down by myself. You will be patted down by John. We will tell you what the scenario is. Okay? You will be given a airsoft force-on-force gun and holster for all you appendix carriers. If you've got something that will fit a Glock 17, you can use your own holster. For Joe, you're the only outside the waistband and non-Glock person. Okay? So I will give you a outside the waistband holster that you can take and put on that will fit that force-on-force gun, okay? We'll give you the scenario, okay? Roughly what it is. You'll come around, deal with what it is. Remember all the lessons that we've done up to this point. All day yesterday, all day today. Okay, don't forget all those things. WIAP protocols, your treatment procedures, scanning, all that stuff, okay? I'm going to play the aggressor. John is going to be the safety and to drive you along, okay? Don't shoot me in the face, okay? If it happens inadvertently, not a big deal, okay? But don't shoot me in the face. I won't shoot you in the face. We've been shooting for high center chest the whole time we've been out here. Let's keep at it. I will react appropriately if you hit me in an appropriate fight-stopping.
Tourniquet is staged.
Wherever you want it. I believe that is charged and loaded and everything else. You can check it if you choose to.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we got training locked there.
Yeah. He's welcome to verify.
Okay, good. Thank you.
And tourniquet. Those are batteries.
Okay.
And then I think it's probably more batteries over there in Hearing Pro.
Hearing Pro, yeah. Okay, good to go. No neck knives?
Nope.
Okay, good. John will check you again. I'm going to go.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I'm the aggressor.
Okay.
Just attempt to not shoot me in the face.
All right.
They are going about 300 feet per second.
Just the
And then
airsoft.
John,
Now
when you-
pull it out and verify.
Yep.
John, after you check him and I get set here, give me about
Batteries.
2 seconds.
Batteries, Hearing Pro.
And then holler, scenario begins now. That way I know, but they also know that we're getting ready to do scenario work.
Oh, okay.
I've been double patted by both instructors
Yep, I
so that
saw
there are no weapons whatsoever on my person.
Okay.
I'm saying that for the camera's sake. Am I given any idea of what I'm walking into?
No, we're basically walking into around the. We're gonna walk around.
Deal with what you got.
Yeah, we're gonna walk
Gotcha.
around the corner and you take it as you see it.
Okay.
Okay, I will cue you if I think you need it.
All right.
In terms of the scenario and what I want you to do, maybe, but just kind of take it.
Okay.
Okay. Scenario, scenario, scenario. Basically, want you to hook around this corner.
Whoa.
Hey, bitch.
Put the knife
you
down.
want some?
Put it down.
You
Put
want
it
some?
down.
You want
Put it
some?
down.
You want some? Fuck.
All right, he's down.
The person's, I'm out of play.
Okay.
Screaming and hollering. You see blood spurting out of that leg.
Come on, man. Talk to me. What's going on? Am I getting any feedback from this guy?
You got nothing. You got what you see.
He's just talking, man, do something with my leg. What the fuck? Ah, man, that fucking hurts.
Yeah, I bet it does. But it's better than the alternative. So you gonna tell me what happened here?
Man, I was minding my own business. That fucker just came out and started stabbing me.
Really?
Dude, I didn't do nothing. Minding my own business.
Wow.
All I wanted was $1.
What a jerk.
He's an
What
ass.
an absolute jerk.
All I wanted was $1.
All you wanted was $1, huh? All he wanted was $1?
All I wanted was $1.
All you wanted was $1. Oh, okay.
All right, so how much you turn that?
How what?
How much will you turn that?
I will turn that until he starts squawking.
Well, he's gonna squawk anyway. Ah, God damn it!
Bright red bleeding.
Yeah, bright red bleeding is what you're looking for. If the bleeding stops, you got your end state.
Don't worry about pulses, because
Yep.
you won't feel them in adrenaline state.
Okay.
Especially if that's compromised, there will be a pulse anyway, probably.
That's true, thank you.
Twist,
Okay.
twist, twist till the bright red bleeding
And I'm on his
stops.
belly button where it bifurcates.
Yep.
And he might not like that. So
I know, I'm a whole lot of dude.
That's not a bad technique, but anybody that's semi-conscious is not going to sit still
So I
for
should
that.
be here.
You can move down, and they probably won't like that either. Just
Yeah,
saying.
Good.
All right, so where do we go now?
Check the pulse. And this guy's out of play.
Yep, I'm
Okay.
out of play.
Call 911.
Okay.
Good.
I got it. Call him.
Now this guy told me that all he wanted was $1.
Do you care?
No, but he could potentially be the aggressor.
Could be, but do you
So
care?
No, you're right.
He's not the aggressor. Okay. So go
It's
ahead.
the cop in me.
Yep. Nope. Now go ahead and pack that wound cube that's behind your
Oh,
foot.
yes, thank you.
And there's the materials that are right there.
Bro, there's a wound cube in there. Shut up. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I put gloves on.
I got you. Oh, really?
Oh, I totally covered the wound cube.
That's okay. Here. No, the wound cube's right here, man.
Oh,
There you
thank
go.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do two separate things. You can just leave the tourniquet in place and just get practice doing the wound cube.
Do you have a Cravat in that bag or anything?
There's a
rag?
pressure
All
direction
right.
right there.
Found the artery.
No, I'm thinking
Oh,
cleaning up.
yeah, good, Abner.
All right, that's all it'll take.
All right.
I'll let you finish. I think I got one.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Dude, you're good. It's your shirt. Well, no, it's mine, but it's your company.
Sorry for shooting you, homie. I love you.
Dude, all I wanted was $1.
All he wanted was a...
Good catch, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really fucking
Yeah, I
matter.
know. Pressure is pressure,
Yeah,
right?
it doesn't really matter. And arguably, if that thing is stopping blood with that pad, then your packing isn't working. So it doesn't matter. It's just a... It's one of, you caught it though. You caught yourself thinking, hey, that's not right. It means you've done enough to know.
Yeah, my hands are shaking from the adrenaline.
Nope, I hear you. And I also hear what you were saying about those guys are like, come over, oh, it's fucking squirting. No, you need to. It's there's no training value in that whatsoever.
Yeah.
I hated it when I was a student. I never did it as an instructor. It's no training value.
Are we good?
Yeah, good.
All right.
So you undo it now?
Yeah, man.
So the only thing I would say, if you think it's going to need a tourniquet, go ahead and slap it on right away instead of doing the sweep.
Okay.
I think you control it pretty damn well no matter what. How about that? But in the grand
Uncle
scheme
Hugh
of things,
taught me, put it, stick a knee in until you can deal with it.
in the grand scheme of things, if you think it's going to come to tourniquet, do it now and then do the sweep.
Yeah, because Uncle Hugh would always say, this is really bad, but there actually may be something worse. So jam a knee into this.
Yep, and that's
roll
not
him
a bad
slightly
technique.
left to roll him out, and then.
And considering it was a stabbing and not a shooting,
Thank you.
that's probably a good approach. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If it's a shooting, now you don't know what else you have. Take what you can get right now and then go to work. Does that make sense?
Okay.
We generally tell people treat the serious ones first because you can see it. It's a cue, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not going to get better while you don't treat it. And then you can literally do what you've seen versus try and remember in a realized state.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that thing I got to go treat later.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, good
Do you
deal.
think that?
No.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Stop.
Oh, hey, bitch.
Put it down.
What?
No,
You want some?
stop.
You
Put
want
it down.
some? You want some?
All right, he's down.
Call 911.
Roger, calling 911. I got you.
Training tourniquet.
Shit.
Stop the wheel.
Yeah, I guess he's gonna need that.
That's okay. That's okay. He's
That's
making
right.
do.
He had a mental. I'm looking for a tourniquet, and now he's stuffing it, so we're all good.
There you go. Yeah, just work through the problem.
Work it.
While you're doing all that, told me that you're sitting on this hollering, screaming.
Yep. Hey,
asking-
buddy, it's okay. EMT's coming.
Good, excellent.
Cops are on the way. Just stay with me, buddy. Can you tell me your name?
Bill,
Bill. All right. Bad day, but we're gonna make it better. All right?
dude, all I wanted was $1.
Hey, do you have any family members around here? Were you
No,
alone?
they're all dead. I'm alone.
You're alone? Okay. Do you know this guy? How did this happen?
No, fucking asshole. I just asked him for $1.
Excellent. Index.
Nice.
Good job, man. Good
No,
job, man.
sorry about the tourniquet, but you had the presence of mind to ask for it, and then went to that. And you got a knee on it too, quick. So I like it.
So, real quick, yep, you notice that.
Yep.
Okay. You let me get close.
Put it down.
What?
Put it
What?
down.
What?
No,
You want some?
stop.
You
Put it
want
down.
some?
Okay. You let me get close. We haven't done the reactionary gap drill, and I don't think you were here last time we did it. Maybe you were. I don't know. But regardless, okay. Knife coming towards me. What'd I say to you?
Well, you've always talked about distance.
Yeah. Me as the aggressor.
In this
I'm
scenario-
the bad guy. What did
Yeah,
I
it means
say?
it's hidden ability.
Yeah. What did I say?
In
So
this
you want
scenario,
some.
what did you say?
I said, "You want some, motherfucker?"
Yeah.
And I kept closing the distance, and you kept giving me a chance, so I slashed you on the arm.
Yeah.
But then you engaged me, and all was good. Good shots right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all center.
But just some things to think about.
Sure.
Things to think about. So good scenario.
Hey, stop!
Hey, bitch.
Stop! Hey,
What?
back up!
What?
Back up!
Do you
Back
want
up!
some?
Back up! Back up!
Man, all I wanted was $1, man.
Sorry, dude.
Fucker stabbed me for no reason. Oh, god damn.
I know it hurts, man, but hang on. We're gonna get you taken care of.
Man, what the fuck are you doing? Do you know what you're doing?
I do know what I'm doing.
God damn it.
I know it's gonna hurt. Sorry, it's gonna hurt more in just a second. Peter, I'm out of play. All right.
Nice. All right. How much do you twist that thing? Because you won't be able to, you'll freaking break things if you keep going. How much do you twist it?
Till I can't feel a distal pulse.
Okay, that's an approach. What else, what are you looking for primarily?
Blood stop flowing out of this wound right here.
Right. There you go. That's what I worry about. All right. Now what?
Looking for other wounds.
You don't have any?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. God damn, man, what you doing?
Checking to make sure you're not injured anywhere
Motherfucker's
else.
rolling me for my wallet.
No. He's good.
He's
so now
good.
go ahead and
All right.
pack. There's a wound tube right to your right there.
All right.
Just
Nope.
leave that in place.
Yep, leave it in
Just
place.
leave it in place.
Leave it in place. You're good.
Not just go to
Just
packing the
pack
wound cube.
Oh, wound cube. Oh, sorry.
Yep, that's okay. That's okay. And there's
Gotcha.
pressure dressing there too. Just remember the technique. We're just substituting the wound cube for the dude.
All right.
You getting tender yet?
All right, hang on, dude. I know this is going to really hurt,
It looked like
but this is going
couple look like
to
they
take
were
care of you.
Yeah,
between the group.
they've been right here, Peter. We're not right here. There were good shots.
All right, sorry, man. I know this really
God
hurts.
damn, man.
I know it, but we got to do this till we get to the EMS. Hey, you, call 911.
I got it. I'm busy filming. You, go call 911.
Yeah, it's going on the interweb.
They're gonna eat this up on TikTok, bro.
You're good, man. Keep working it. If you get something that rolls out, just stuff it into the wrap as you're going. Just put it where you want the pressure. It'll add to it in that next layer. Okay.
All right.
What the hell was that?
Sounds like ice.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, stop! Put it down.
He's like, I don't want to break my props.
Hey, it held up pretty good.
Sure did.
I'm out of place, Scott. I'm not part of the scenario anymore.
All right. So that thing's just fucking squirting blood everywhere. This guy's bitching because you're digging in his leg. God damn, man, what are you doing?
I can't even get it in
Here, if you want to pack, use the
Yep.
wound cube.
You can use the wound cube over there if you're gonna try and
I
pack.
got you.
There
Okay.
you go, bud.
Damn, man, what the hell are you doing?
You all right?
What do you mean I'm all right? You're shoving shit in my leg. All I wanted was $1 and an asshole started stabbing me.
I get those about to shoot people.
And he smiles when he does it, though. I was being nice about it.
He was quick to get on that pistol, wasn't he?
He always is. Ask him about the time he shot the cop.
No, we don't want to talk about that.
I always laugh. Everybody's like,
Just for the sake of the viewers at home, it wasn't a real cop. It was a scenario.
yeah,
He
thank
was
It was
not,
right. I'm looking out for you, buddy.
He was
It was a
not-
scenario.
saying, hey, I'm a cop or whatever, all that other shit.
So he wasn't identifying himself.
Tuck it in, do whatever you gotta do to stop, to keep it in place, man. Cool. As long as it stays. All right, what else? What do you do? If you have the hemorrhage control with that, do you need the tourniquet?
No, not really.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's roll his ass over so he can breathe.
God damn, man, what the hell are you doing? You don't see anything else. You got what you got.
I got everything.
It's just the one hole in the leg and the dude bitching at you because you're moving it.
Hey man, are you gonna call 911? Get somebody who knows what they're doing here?
I'm sure there's enough bystanders that heard all them gunshots.
They're all filming you. I was. So yeah, remember Scott, appropriate time. Either you call 911, this would be a good time. You obviously don't have to do it, or you're gonna have to direct somebody else because it's no lie, man. People will film it. They won't.
Hey, put down the knife! Put down the knife! Put down the knife!
No, what? I don't want to put it on. You want some? Do you want some? Do you want some?
Okay, he's down.
Sir, I'm medically trained, may I be of assistance?
God damn, man, he stabbed the shit out of me. All I wanted was $1, man. What the hell? All right, if you want to pack, do it on the cube over there behind to your right.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Packing the wound, dude. I'm packing the wound.
God damn, man, what are you doing? That hurts.
Yeah, well, shit happens when
Jesus,
you're
get
party
your finger
naked,
out of my
okay?
leg.
It party happens,
Son
shit
of a
happens.
bitch. You got
Work
$1?
with Yeah, $1. I do, as a matter of fact. It's silver.
Can I have $1?
Yeah, man. Give me 28 minutes and I'll give you $1.
All right. Man, all I asked for was $1. Fucker just started stabbing me.
Can take the rest of that material, put it right on top.
Yep.
There you go. Good.
Thanks for the reminder, boss.
No problem. I'm out of play, by the way.
Yeah, you're dead.
Okay.
I didn't know how long you were going to stand there and watch him if I didn't say he's dead. Or down or something.
Just don't worry about your arm. It'll move in any way I want it to.
Damn,
okay?
man, that hurts.
Well, shit happens. Shouldn't have been in this situation anyway.
I was minding my own business.
But shit happens when you party naked, doesn't it, buddy?
Damn right it does. If I see that motherfucker again, I'll kill him.
No, you won't see him again.
All right, you got the bleeding control.
All
What
right,
else?
dude, you're all right.
Hey, drop the knife!
Drop the fucking knife!
Man, do you want
Get the
some?
fuck back!
You want some?
Get the fuck back!
What are you gonna do?
Get the fuck
what
back
are you
now!
gonna do, man?
Alright, he's down.
Oh shit, bro, you okay?
Dude!
What the fuck,
Fucker
man?
stabbed me, man! Fucker stabbed me! Goddamn, all I wanted was $1.
Mike, I am out of play now.
Okay.
Eat those.
Alright, bleeding stopped. Damn, man, what the hell are you doing? That hurts!
What's that? Sorry. Why'd you get stabbed?
Dude, I was minding my own business. All I wanted was $1.
Alright.
Alright, what else? What do you do?
Grab phone, start calling 911.
Alright, I'm
Reassess
calling
the
911. Once I'm done filming this.
Then I'm going to continue to reassess, make sure that no one's coming out from behind me.
Okay.
Looking if there's any other casualties.
Okay.
And then I'm just reassuring my patient.
Okay.
Good. Now pack the wound cube that's to your right.
Yep.
All right.
Just like you're packing that wound.
All right.
Okay, you got packing material that's right there. You took the t-shirt off and cut it up.
Hold your panties
I'm
off.
taking his t-shirt off.
Whatever.
Good. Yeah.
Don't take my t-shirt, man. It's the only one I got.
I like my t-shirt.
Whoa! Hey! What? Drop the knife! What? Drop the knife! Why? What? What are you gonna do?
Alright, he's down. He's down. What now?
I guess check my surroundings.
Okay, what else? What was he doing back there?
Oh, check on the person.
You can choose not to, I guess. Damn, man. I was minding my own business. He fucker stabbed me.
John, I'm out of this scenario.
Okay. Damn, nice.
That's a good bite.
All right, the bleeding stopped. Bleeding's controlled with the tourniquet. Now what? Damn, man, what are you doing? Shit, man, leave me alone. Stab me in the leg, man. I'm good.
Damn, man,
Yeah,
handle
you got
that,
what you
dude.
got.
Check and see.
He's got
Can't find anything
adrenaline
else.
going, bro.
Nothing else?
Nothing else. Now what?
Okay. So I've controlled the bleeding. I
Okay.
just need to talk to them.
Yeah, sure.
All right, you're gonna be okay,
No,
man.
I'm not, man. My fucking leg's stuck.
Hey, dude, that was fucked up. Do you think I should call the cops or something?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, man, I'll call 911. I'm gonna continue filming it for my TikTok.
Shit. Abner, call the police.
All right, I'll call the police.
Okay, good.
All right, 911 has been called.
911's on the way.
All right, now what I want you to do is that wound cube that's right there.
Just practice packing.
Yep, practice packing. You got packing material that's right there on the ground.
So any
Just
particular?
pick a hole.
Pick
It
a
don't
hole.
matter. Take a breath. Take a breath. Work through it. Do the technique. Good, Sean. Good.
I particularly like how he picked up the 70-pound dummy from a kneeling position and got him clean off the ground. I'd say he's got a little bit of adrenaline
Adrenaline's a
going.
wonderful thing.
Yeah, good job,
Cocaine's a
man.
hell of a drug.
Okay, now take the rest of it and just ball it up and put it on top. Right, since homie was talking to you, hey man, put your hand right here. Okay, make them an active participant in saving their own life. Look and see where
right.
okay, there we go. Good. Okay, good. All right, man, good. There you go, you got it.
Because I forgot the tourniquet already, right?
Yeah, you got the tourniquet already.
Yeah.
Okay. We're just getting you some practice
So-
on
so-
packing the wound cube.
If you put the tourniquet on and you got hemorrhage controlled, you don't need to pack it. But if you want to pack it and then remove the tourniquet, it's a theory. But realistically, you already managed it. We're just having you practice the packing.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Doing good. And just
you-
use the Velcro that's on there. Don't worry about
Once
it.
you realize there might be somebody that needs some help, you're pretty quick to get on them and start doing too.
Good, that was excellent.
Yep.
Good, now take a deep breath. Good, stand up.
And in the grand scheme of things, you can choose not to render aid. That's a completely viable option.
That's true.
Hey, I got a question for you.
I will take your training gun.
And I haven't posed it to everybody, but did you see your sights at all?
I think I did.
Any
That's a
idea
fair
where
question.
your shots went?
I think I hit right.
Yeah, pretty
So it's
low,
a
right?
little too-
Whoa! Hey! What?
Drop the knife!
What? What?
Drop the knife!
Why?
Yeah, pretty
So
low,
it's a
right?
little too low.
Because we had the gun down, looking over the top of it. It happens a lot. It happens a lot. Okay. The other thing, and this is something that we have to train and train and train on, because ingrained in our DNA, we want to create space. Which way did you go as I started to encroach on you?
I started backing up.
Yep.
And I could have tripped.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, but you did handle the situation. So remember all those applied tactics and movement techniques that we talked about, J-hooks, lateral, things like that. It just takes time and practice, man, but you addressed it. You did good.
Okay.
On the medical clinic. Everything looked really good, man.
All right, thank you.
Hey, what you doing?
What's it
Get
look
out.
like I'm doing?
Get out.
What's it look
Get
like
out.
I'm
Back
doing?
the fuck up.
What?
All right, he's down. Hey, man, he's stabbing me for no reason. I was minding my own business. All I wanted was $1. Damn. Hey, call 911. All right, can I film this first, or do I gotta go now? Call 911. I'll go call 911. I'm calling 911.
Joe, I'm out of play. I'm out of play, okay? Just gonna get up.
Hey, buddy, you okay? No, man, it hurts. Okay, take some breaths, brother. No, I'm not okay. Take some breaths, man. I'm breathing plenty. You're gonna be okay. All I want is $1. He shot me. All right, the bleeding stopped. You got it controlled. All right. All right, now what? All right.
Is the ambulance on the way?
911's been called.
911's been called.
Yep.
Okay. Busted.
Yep.
Bad guy has
He's still down.
been disposed of.
Yep. What else can you do?
Okay. Hey, brother, you good?
Yeah, man. He just got me in the leg. You don't find any other wounds, man. Hey, what are you trying to look for my wallet? I'm good. You just got me in the leg. You're good.
Take some breaths, man.
All right.
Take some breaths.
Nice.
Good, Joe.
All right.
Go ahead and pack that wound
Pack
cube
that
now.
wound just as a practice, okay?
Yep. Here's your materials. Pick that hole right there. Take a deep breath. Think about what you're doing. Down deep in there. Remember, find where that bleeding originates, and then pack on top of it. Good. Good job. Hey, he's talking to you, right? Hey, man.
Hey.
Why don't you hold on to this for me? Hey. There we go. Now you can get that. Look at the side where the pad is. On your. There you go. Okay. So make them an active participant in saving their own life.
Hey, man, I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah, man.
Just hold on to this, okay?
Get the absorbent piece right there. There you go. I got it. I got it, man.
Just put some pressure on here.
Okay.
As hard as you can. I know it's gonna hurt. I know it's gonna hurt.
You know what you're doing?
But it's okay.
Do you know what you're doing?
We're gonna get you out of here, all
Hey,
right?
do you know what you're doing?
They're on the way.
Do you know what you're
Ambulance is on the
doing?
way.
Hey, man, do you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
You sure you know what you're doing there?
Just come on, man. Just take some breaths. Take some breaths.
Okay,
Put
okay.
some pressure.
Okay, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah. Just put some pressure on here.
Okay, good.
And we're gonna get you out of here. Hey, you got any kids?
No, I ain't got no kids, man. Not that I know of, anyway.
You got your wife?
I got like 3 of them.
Which one's your favorite?
All of them.
All of them.
Just depends on what day of the week it is.
All right. What's your favorite day of the week?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, good job, Joe. You don't have to get that on there. Okay,
Nice
good.
job, Joe.
Good. Relax, index, step up, take a deep breath.
Nice.
Okay, good. Good
That's
job.
good.
Good job.
You did good.
Thank you. That's an adrenaline.
Yeah.
Good, man.
Go. Folks, this right here is love of the student. He took airsoft hits from how many of us? 8 of us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 of us. Time for a beer, buddy.
Hey, Joe, once you get the, hey, Joe, once you get the whole